I'm Sophia Wood with Fractal Kitty, and I am going to show you how to do some origami today. We're going to be making an octahedron, and this is a form of modular origami called Sonobe, and I'm going to show you how to do this fold. And what's cool about this fold is once you learn how to do it, you can make an octahedron. This takes 12 sheets of paper, so you're going to need 12 sheets. I have small paper, but you can use large. And so you can make this shape, but you know, if you had 30 sheets of paper, you can make an icosahedron. The larger paper makes a larger shape. We call this one an icosahedron. See the fish? You can also make a soma cube, which is a nice three-dimensional puzzle with 7 pieces that you can fit together to make a cube. I think that took like 118 sheets. It's quite a few sheets. And so you can see I love origami. So this is a great way to start. And when you make these shapes, I suggest, you know, measure them, find the planes of symmetry, play with them, see, sketch them, you know, get a flashlight and get lights and shadows and make this a fun project. Some people make like mobiles where you tie them together and you can hang them in fun configurations, or sculptures, or little LED lanterns. So have fun. I'm going to switch over so you can see the folds. Okay, so I have this single sheet of origami paper, and first thing we're going to do is fold it in half. And then you're going to take the bottom and bring it to the middle, to that line you just did. It's really important that you don't let this edge cross over that line. You're better off being on a little bit on the inside. And you want to do the same thing on this side. So you're folding both of those in. So if you close it, it looks like that. And if you open it, you've got 3 lines. Okay, and now you're going to close the bottom. And this is really important. For the pieces to fit together, you need to always take the same side. So I use the lower left side. Some people do the lower right, but the key is that you're consistent. For every single shape that you fold, you want to make sure that you use the same side. So I'm going to take the lower left corner and I'm going to bring it up and fold it right there. So lower left, and I bring it right up to that line. And again, it's important that you don't go over the line. You're better off being a little bit on the inside. And then I close this. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this shape around, and it's going to be this lower left corner. And I'm going to grab this corner and bring it up right there. It's important that you don't go over that line there. So I've got that folded, and now we're going to tuck. So I've got this flap, and I'm going to open right here and tuck this in, just like that. Okay, so now that I've got this shape, I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to fold that corner back, and the same thing on this side, fold that back. So now I've got, look at that, a parallelogram, and I'm going to rotate it this way, and we're going to turn this parallelogram into a rectangle or a square. I haven't measured the sides to know if it's square or not, but it looks awfully square. So I'm going to take this corner here, and you can see this nice obtuse angle, and I'm going to bring this corner to that corner and fold it, and then rotate. Same thing here. Bring this up. Okay, and then I'm going to fold this down just to crease it. If you're making a cube, you don't want to do this final step and crease it, but for the octahedron, you want to crease it. It'll go together better. So here's the shape that we have, this nice little piece of origami paper. That's the Sonobe Fold, and you need 12 of these. So you can stop the video here and go ahead and fold. You can rewind and look at it again, and you can fold it 11 more times because you need 12 of these to go together. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting, I've already got my 12, so I'm going to start putting these together now. And so you can see for this shape that there is a pocket right there, and there's a flap. And so the flap, this right here, goes into that pocket, okay, and that's how it fits together. And I'm going to grab this, and we're going to make that first, we're going to close this right here, okay, and so you should see a triangle when you look straight on there. You should see a triangle there, okay, and so that is the starting point for this octahedron. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go around to this, just pick one of those sides, and we're going to fill it in with 2 more sheets, making sure that we just go flap into the pocket and flap. And it's okay, like, to bend these to get them to go in, and just press them together, kind of go out and in until they fit, where you can kind of, you know, pull like that, and where you can close them, because sometimes you you know, it's a tight squeeze for some of these, especially with some of the shapes that you have. So go around until you have 3 of these triangles or shapes. Here we go. All right. So now I've got those, and I'm going to, once I have those 3, I can take this one and bring it there. So I am halfway done with the octahedron. Oops. When I have these 4 points that come together, and they make this kind of secondary point here where you have these 4 lines. And so I'm now halfway done, and I can flip my shape like this, and I can continue to add pieces. It's kind of a fun puzzle to do. And so I continue to add pieces until I get my octahedron. And you know, you don't have to make an octahedron. You can see what other shapes or sculptures you can make with this fold. My daughter folded 90 sheets to make a dodecahedron, and unfortunately the paper was so heavy that it kind of fell in on itself. So I don't know if glue or stronger paper would help, but we'll have to try that again. All right, and then let's see here. So as you keep going here, I see I have 3 here. So even though I might want to add one, I don't do it. I actually just take that there, and now you can see I've linked those 4 points, and I need to continue to close this shape up. I can see the symmetry. I like this paper. It's got nice little stars on it, and it's blue. It's my favorite color. So, all right, and then put that there, and I've got one more piece of paper to go in, and for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these 2 flaps up and place my paper down between, and that way I can get the flaps into their pockets like that. And you can see I'm a little rough. This paper's it's really thin, but it's actually really sturdy. It's done pretty well. Not to say I've never ripped a sheet, but you gotta expect losses. And so, let's see here. So you kind of wiggle until you can get those last pieces in there. I've got one more flap here. All right, and then you can, let's see here, that one piece there isn't quite right. There we go, okay. So I kind of go around and I pinch my corners in, make sure everything's solid, and there we go. There's my octahedron. And again, you can make other shapes with the same fold. You can see all these different pieces that I've made using the same fold. Here's 30 sheets. And this one we would put together differently, and I'll do that on another day, but you can see how instead of 4, there's 5 coming together. That's the icosahedron. And here's some pretty paper. I liked the waves and how that came together. So have fun and sketch, play a game of ball with your new octahedron.